Go ahead. Coach, if you don't mind starting us off with an opening statement.
Well, welcome to our new media center here. Good to have everyone here. Exciting time of the year for, I think, every college softball player, every college softball coach, and I'm no different. You know, it's culmination of I think for us, a great body of work in our non-conference season and our conference season, and now we're ready for the next season, which is postseason. And so excited to kind of get started, to say the least. And, I think this team is well prepared.
Did you enjoy the week off? Did it help?
Well, the week off, it gives you a little bit of a mental break, but we tried to duplicate a series last weekend. So we had a couple of inter-squad games, and they were very competitive. But I probably would have been preferred to be playing during that weekend. But it is what it is, and we did what we could, and had a good week of practice. So we've been able to kind of go back to some of the basics and revisit some things. So, yeah, I think we're as ready as we can be.
Do you go into your 30th of these like you went into your 5th one or 10th one or 20th one optimistic otherwise, or you just go in the same way?
Probably the same way. I mean, I don't look beyond today, to tell you the truth. Trying to have a great practice and, take it one step at a time. I know one thing about looking too far ahead, you can get bit really quick. And I think especially in today's world with the parity that there is around the country, it's one of the lessons you learn very quickly. So we're trying to take care of business right now with New Mexico State, an opponent that we played already early on. I think an opponent that swings the bat fairly well, has good pitching, and it's competitive. They're coming off winning their WAC championship, and so they're highly motivated. We're highly motivated, and we just can't wait to get on the field and play the game.
How much comfort does it give you in this first round that you've already seen your opponent, and it was just about a month ago?
Well, it's always good, but in today's world, it's not that hard to find information on opponents. I mean, the internet and television has really helped us in that regard as far as gathering information. Back in the day when you never saw anyone, it was kind of frightening to walk up, and sometimes you got surprised, But I think in today's world, if you do your homework, we've seen plenty of video on all the teams that we could be facing this weekend, and are doing our part to prepare ourselves as well as possible.
How do you describe what the atmosphere gets like at a playoff game at Hillenbrand Stadium?
Well, I think it varies from year to year. I mean, over the years, it's sometimes I want to slap them and make them realize that it's not a given. I remember many years where the first round or second round they wouldn't show up, and And I know this weekend that's not the case because I think we're going to be sold out. So to me, that's great that we're able to bring our fan base here. That's why you want to be at home, is to have that fan base. And so I think it's going to be a place that's going to be rocking. It should be a lot of fun.
A lot of people are circling Arizona to already move forward and advance. With the 2 seed, a lot of pressure and expectation comes with that. But what do you tell your team about managing that sort of pressure?
Well, we're just taking care of the things we have control over. And right now we're preparing for New Mexico State. And we know better than that you have to play the game between the lines. It's not being played on social media or in television or whatever it may be. And it doesn't matter how many all-regional players you have and all Pac-12 players you have. It's what's going to happen between the lines this weekend, and that I know for a fact. And most of the time in postseason, it's not your big names that make a difference. Sometimes it's the bottom of your order that will, have the great at bat or 2 at bats or great steal or whatever it may be. And so I think it's a time of the year where you see new heroes being developed each and every day at every regional. And so, we're going to take the same approach that we've taken all year, and get after it.
When you're around the country and you bump into other coaches, do they ever say, like, I'll trade you fan bases, or I'd like to trade you fan bases?
Well, I think, there's a lot of them that would love to have this fan base sometimes. But, it's a blessing, and it's it hasn't happened overnight. You know, it's been developing since 1993. So there's a lot of hard work and a lot of effort put into it. But I think the big thing is that we've had some really special athletes that have been able to play here at Hillenbrand, and special teams that have brought the fan base here. And so every time I walk on that field and I see this place packed, it is a special day for me each and every time, because, you know, there's a lot of places that we go, even schools that have had a lot of success that just don't draw. And whether it's too many things going on in the area that they live in or whatever it may be, I've just always been blessed that we've been able to develop a fan base, even though it's a little bit older. It can get real ornery very quickly, not only against the opposing team, but against the home team. But that's what makes it special. You know, I think this is a very special place to play, and I can't think of too many other places that match it. But they're popping up around the country as we speak each and every year. There's more and more fan bases that are growing at some of these places, so it's good for the sport.
Have you noticed in your road games that the demographics similar to yours here, or is it different there, maybe younger at other places?
Well, like Alabama, I think it draws very well too, and I think their demographics are very close to what ours are. You know, same age group. The one thing that you don't see in a lot of softball venues yet is a lot of students for some reason. It's hard to get them out here, you know, which would be great for us, but I think if you look around the country, the fan bases are pretty comparable. And I think part of that is because they really feel that they can get close to these kids. You know, it's almost like their extended family. It's tough to go to a football game or a basketball game and get a chance to go say hi to a kid after a game and have a conversation, where here we have many people that look at these kids as their daughters, you know, and it's part of their family. And I had a request this week that kind of sums it up. You know, I had a lady, a season ticket holder that passed away, and one of the requests from her when she was buried was that have an autographed softball put in her casket. And so we had a ball autographed this week and sent it over to the funeral director.
Is that a first?
That was the first, yeah. You know.
Along those lines, talking about the crowd and being honorary, you can hear probably a lot of things that are said in the dugout from where you're at. Anything that's been good or funny or clever that you've kind of even had to kind of chuckle at?
No. To be honest with you, most of the time I really hear very little. You know, sometimes, I mean, you always hear the, you know, Coach, why don't you let her hit, and, you know, stuff like that, and you just kind of, you know. But the only time I really, I mean, when something grabs my attention when someone's saying derogatory things to a player. And then I'll kind of look up there and stare at the guy, you know. And I've also told, you know, some old guys, why don't you come to practice one day and stand in there and see how easy it is to hit, you know. But I try to stay away from that stuff. And it's just like letters that you get sometimes, you know. I mean, there's some crazy people in this world, and they got nothing to do but write crazy things.
You look in the stands, do you recognize hundreds of people?
Lots of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of people that have been around for a long time, you know. And, yeah, I mean, we have a lot of people that want to come watch every practice, you know, and I had to finally close practices for a while because we had some issues with people on social media kind of doing their own thing. And but, yeah, we have some people that, I mean, we go on a road trip, they'll come say bye to the team when we get in the vans and go to the airport. It's a very unique situation, and you know, I don't know if they would ever walk into Sean Miller's office to find out if they can come to practice, but they walk into mine all the time. You know, Coach, is practice open? You know, and God, if it's open, it's, you know, there's some people that we like for them to come, and yeah, it's very unique.
Was it worse back in the day in the 90s or?
Well, when I first started here, the field was right here, and the thing that was worse about it was pretty good shot. We had to drag our own field. We had to wait for PE to get off the field. I mean, I remember many times coming for a practice, and sitting there with the team waiting to get on the field because PE was on it. And then I'd get on my three-wheeler and drag the field. You know, we had a swimming pool right next to us, and the synchronized swimming team was there, and we'd hit a foul ball in there, and they'd say something nasty and throw it out. Yeah, you know, so I've kind of seen it develop. And now we have a beautiful place, and, you know, we're still working on phase 2 because we need to do some other things.
What would be the key component to phase 2?
Phase 2 right now, the press box. I mean, press box because from that, the shade structure comes off of that. The pole-less netting comes off of that. We'd like to put a couple of suites on both sides of the press box, and an open patio area that's covered. Yeah, I've got some great plans. It's just right now just raising the money.
What is that cost?
We need about $5 million to really get it done, and we're pushing up.
Have you had conversations with Dave about that?
I've had conversations with a lot of people about it. Yeah, Dave's yeah, he knows exactly what we want to do. That's one of the first things I did is when I had my meeting. You're a baseball guy, right? Well, here, this is what we need, you know. So we're hoping that here soon that it'll come to fruition, but I think it will be nice. We've done a lot of nice things around here, but now it's time to do some stuff for the fans. New seating, new dugouts, bathrooms in the dugouts would be nice to have. But yeah, it'll look different, but it'll still be in this quaint area of where this field is.
Anything else for Coach?